Hi, this is Leo. Welcome back to Learn Guitar in and Out. Today we're going to discuss how to practice scales on the guitar the right way. Particularly, we're going to discuss how to play the A major scale. Like, for example, growing up, I was taught that the only way to play C major is this right here. So then when I started doing music professionally, I faced a lot of obstacles, like not being able to play scale whenever I want, wherever I want. So I realized that you gotta practice scales starting from every string, every finger. Let me explain. For example, let's start with C major scale as it is the easiest scale. And let's start on the 6th string. So find C on the 6th string, which would be the 8th fret. Let's start with the first finger. Follow logical choices. Scales gotta be easy to play and comfortable to play. So, if I start on C on the 8th fret, my most logical choice is for me to go to D on the 10th fret, either with the 2nd or the 3rd finger. I prefer the 2nd finger as it's gonna be easier to reach for my pinky later. So I played C on the 8th fret, D on the 10th fret. Logically, E is gonna be on the 12th fret. That's it. I'm maxed out of my fingers. What do I mean by that? If I continue on the same string, again, it's going to be an uncomfortable fingering, right? If I'm going to continue after this, sure, I can play a scale down one string, but how many times are you going to do that during the solo? Probably not much. So, as soon as you maxed out of the fingers, meaning you reached your pinky, always switch a string. So, we've stopped on the pinky, on the 12th fret, on E. That means our next note is going to be F on the 8th fret on the 5th string. So then we continue with G on the 10th fret on the 5th string, A on the 12th fret on the 5th string. Again, we reached our limit. So now you're going to go to 9th fret for B on the 4th string and 10th fret C on the 4th string. And here's how you play C major, starting from the first finger on the 6th string. Now let's start the same scale from the same spot, but starting on the 2nd finger. So by the same logic, if we start on C on the 8th fret, D is going to be on the 10th fret, same string. We reached our limit, means we got to change the string. So now E is going to be on the 7th fret, 5th string. F is going to be on the 8th fret, 5th string. G is going to be on the 10th fret, 5th string. Reached our limit, change the string. A is going to be on the 7th fret, 4th string. B is going to be on the 9th fret, 4th string. And C is going to be on the 10th fret, 4th string. And that's how you play C major, starting from the 2nd finger. Let's start from the pinky. If we start from the pinky, we already reached our limit, means we got to go straight to the next string. So we start on C on the 10th or 8th fret, 6th string. D is going to be on the 5th fret, 5th string. E is going to be on the 7th fret, 5th string, and F is going to be in the 8th fret, 5th string. Reached our limit, change the string. G is going to be on the 5th fret, 4th string. A is going to be on the 7th fret, 4th string. B is going to be on the 9th fret, 4th string. Reached our limit. C is going to be on the 5th fret, 3rd string. And that's how you play C major, starting from the pinky. Why did I skip the 3rd finger? Because if you start with the 3rd finger, all of the logical choices are gonna either bring you to the same fingering as if you were starting from the 2nd finger, or to the same fingering as you were starting from the pinky. Watch, if I start from the 3rd finger, I can either go to D with the pinky, which is very uncomfortable, and then continue with the same fingering as if I was starting with the 2nd finger, right? You see? Or I can do the same thing, start from the 3rd finger on the C and then go to D with the 1st finger, which will lead me to the same choices as if I was starting from the pinky. So I just skipped the 3rd finger because it's an uncomfortable fingering. Still good to practice it from time to time, just so you still know how to do it in case you are in a situation where you accidentally start on a 3rd finger from the 6th string and you got to play a scale and you're still able to do it. But usually we don't want to practice a very uncomfortable fingering, because least likely you're gonna play that in a situation where you're soloing or you're reading music where it's a stressful situation, your brain usually goes for comfortable things. So now, by doing that kind of work, we have 3 ways of playing the same scale from the same string, starting with different fingers. We have starting from the first finger on the 6th string, starting from the 2nd finger, and starting from the pinky. And then you do the same exact work starting from the 5th string, starting from the 1st finger, from the 2nd finger, from the 3rd finger. You can do here because you have open strings. Not gonna work on every scale, but it's gonna work for this one because you can use open strings, which makes it a very comfortable fingering starting from the 3rd finger. And you can practice the same exact fingering, but starting from the pinky, starting from the 15th fret, which is still a C. Always, if you have an open fingering, make sure to practice it up an octave using the 12th fret, because usually it's going to be a completely different fingering. Next, we go into the 4th string, same thing, starting from the 1st finger, starting from the 2nd finger, starting from the pinky. Same situation as with the 3rd finger starting from the 6th string. The 3rd finger fingering is very uncomfortable and will lead you to the same choices as if you would be starting from the pinky or the 2nd finger. Starting from the 3rd string, we have 2 options when we start with the 1st finger. It's either 1st finger, 2nd finger on D, pinky on E, change the string, 1st finger on F, 2nd finger on G, pinky on A, change the string, 1st finger on B, 2nd finger on C. Or you can do 1st finger on C, 3rd finger on D, then change the string, 1st finger on E, 2nd on F, 4th on G, 1st on A, 3rd on B, 4th on C. 2nd finger position will kind of be the same as the 1st finger, so we're gonna skip it. Let's start with the 3rd finger. 3rd finger on C, change the string, 1st finger on D, 3rd finger on E, pinky on F, 1st finger on G, 3rd finger on A, switch your hand, 1st finger on B, 2nd finger on C. Go back the same way. Starting from the pinky will kind of lead you to the same exact choices as if you were starting from the 3rd finger, so we're gonna skip that one. From the 2nd string, I only find one comfortable choice. It's starting with the 1st finger, you go C, D with the 2nd finger, E with the pinky, change the string, F with the 1st finger, G with the 3rd finger, switch your hand, A, B, C, 1, 3, 4, and go back. Few very important things to do when you practice scales this way is to take your time with it. Don't try to do every single scale from every single string, every single finger in one practice session. For example, you can spread it out in the course of a month, right? For the first week of the month, you can just do starting from the 6th string and make sure you're really comfortable with starting from the same string, different fingers, right? Make sure you got it before you continue to the next string, because if you do it all in one day, most likely you won't remember a lot of them and you're gonna have to do all the same work the next day or the next week, depends on how many times you practice. Also, make sure to name the notes at least once in your practice session. Like, for example, first, figure out the way to play the scale from a particular finger. Then go ahead and literally play it like this. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Why we do that is so you actually know what you are playing, because a lot of times when we learn scales, we just rely on your finger memory and you forget about what exactly notes you're playing. So it's good to do it at least once when you play through the scale, is to play it while naming the notes of the scale. And then you can go ahead and just practice playing it technically faster, slower, consistent, however you practice your scales. But make sure to do it at least once. Go through a scale, naming the notes. Especially, it's gonna help you a lot when you're gonna start practicing other keys, because there you're gonna also learn how many sharps and flats and accidentals each of the key has, so you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want me to discuss a specific topic that's been interesting you. And I'll see you next time.